Well, good morning, everyone. And once again, welcome to another live this morning. Nice to be on with you guys. And we love you dearly. Another session today. Today, we're going to look at some new studies that have just come out. And always interesting, I think. And I know you guys appreciate it. So if you can say hello, Andrea, there you are, numero uno on my hit parade this morning. And Elaine and from St. John's, Newfoundland, and Lucille and Nellie and Paula Joe right at the top, you guys. Hi, Lisa. Good to have you on. Nativity right there. And Brahim. Okay, you're not number one, though. Judy, New Brunswick. And let's see. Hi, Danny. Good morning to you. Kevin's on from Oshawa this morning. How are you, Kev? Sandy, Fergus Falls, Minnesota. Dennis saying hello to everyone. Lily from Cochrane. Bonnie, Little Britain. Fran is on with us from Orangeville. Marlene, how are you? Maureen in Boca Raton, Florida. Danny Lay in Iron Bridge, Ontario. Lorraine out in British Columbia. Patricia, how are you? And Carol is on from West Virginia. Wanda from Ridgeway, Ontario. Diane, Peterborough. Amber, New Jersey. Janice is on with us this morning. Dave is on with us from Muskoka. Wendy, Markham. And Grace from the Rock. Catherine, Springdale, Newfoundland. Millika from Stouffville. Frida, how are you? Karen, Innisville. And Thea, how are you? Carol in Wasaga Beach. Rosalinda, you get caught in those clouds, don't you, Rosalinda? Don't ask me. Donna from Newfoundland, Maria from Ottawa, Yvette, Sunny Shedjiak, Nouveau Brunswick, Leah, how are you from Victoria, bright and early this morning, Judy, Rosa from Montreal, Donna from Belle Heward, Yvonne is on with us from Petawawa, Karen is on from Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario, Wanda, Virginia, Linda, Owen Sound, good morning. And okay, Etta, how is you? Dave's on with us from Cardiff. Cheryl, hi Cheryl, how are you? Okay, a couple of more. Hi Delinda, North Bay, Sue from Bolton, and Jean from Strathroy. Tina, Nova Scotia, how is you? We love you dearly. Brenda, good morning. And there you go. Okay, let's get to a few new studies here this morning. I got lots of them, guys. Hot off the press. Okay, let's do the first one. Exercise training increases the size of your hippocampus. I call it hypo. Maybe people call it a hippo. Okay? The key is not the hippo or the hypo. It's the campus. The memory center in your brain. Here's what this study says. Exercise training increases the size of the hippocampus and improves memory. There we go again. Vitamin E, the real vitamin E, is exercise. This one is a study on walking. They're saying, They're saying that walking 40 minutes, just 3 times a week, okay? Adults grew back 2% of their hippocampus in a year, okay? Okay, now, here's what happens to the hippocampus. It shrinks, shrinks, shrinks. That's what Alzheimer's is. Now, there's several reasons for this. The number one reason, remember now, when you get to type 3 diabetes is Alzheimer's. It's diabetes of the brain. The brain swimming in the wrong fuel. And you know what it does? It shrinks. It shrinks. Especially the memory center, the hippocampus. Okay? It shrinks. And just with aging, okay, according to this study, your hippocampus shrinks 1 to 2% per year as you get older. Okay? This leads to worse cognitive performance, especially memory. So this study is saying, walk if you can. Look, any exercise is going to be helpful, guys. Any exercise is going to be helpful. We always talk about this. Strong muscles. Every time you flex those muscles, you're doing an exercise for your brain. So don't forget that. You could forget if your brain is shrinking. Okay? But isn't that wonderful with vitamin E and exercising? If you can, get out and walk. I walk every day. I do. Twice a day, usually. And sometimes 3 times a day. And then, by the way, and this will be helpful, okay? Because in the long run, this is helpful. If you can walk after you eat, especially at supper time, if you can walk even up to, as little as 10 minutes, it will lower your blood sugar by 30%. Why is that important? Well, again, blood sugar. Remember, Alzheimer's, the hippocampus in the brain, the memory center. It's swimming in glucose. It's swimming in fuel that it can't use. It can use a little bit, but it can't, you know what I mean? It's like swimming in the Atlantic, but you can't drink the water. The brain is surrounded by the wrong fuel, and it shrinks because of it. So there's exercise is such a benefit. And a double nugget would be to exercise after eating. So let's say you're at the office, go up a flight of stairs if you can. Okay? That sedentary lifestyle, I've said this to you many a times, 3 things worse than smoking. Having low levels of vitamin D, low levels of omega-3, and inactivity. And the more they study exercise, the more they study muscle, the more they study the brain, the connection there is incredible. Okay? So there's a new study just out. And tremendous. Exercise training increases the size of the hippocampus. I like hypo, you like hippo. Who cares? Okay. Vitamin D and sunlight. Skin protection. Okay? Now, what this study is saying, okay, vitamin D on the skin, okay, not the supplementation of vitamin D, which is very important, by the way. The vast majority of people need to supplement with vitamin D. It should be your go-to with probiotics because you're not getting enough sun unless you live in Florida. And even then, they don't do it. They're scared skinny. Okay? But here's the study. Okay? Let me read just the headline here. Okay? Moderate sun exposure. Okay? Protects your skin from skin cancers and especially the most severe one, which is melanoma. What? The opposite of what the world teaches. The opposite of what dermatologists tell you. The opposite of what medicine tells us. It's the opposite. Moderate, okay, don't go burn. Don't go burn. Moderate sun exposure on the skin protects your skin from skin cancer. Now, where have you heard that before? How long have I been saying the importance of the sun? Viderma. Remember that expression? You need viderma. Vitamin D. But the sun, okay? So, look, you get a lot of benefits from supplementing with vitamin D. We talk about that. Getting your blood levels, your dehydroxy, vitamin D up to certain levels. We emphasize that. Optimize your vitamin D. In order to do that, 99% of you, maybe less than that, but most of us need to take vitamin D as a supplement. We just don't get enough sun. But you need the sun. You need the sun to protect your skin from skin cancer. The exact opposite of what we have been taught. I'll tell you, there's research on vitamin D every day, and it's incredible. Okay? This highlights a key point. Here's part of the study. Sunlight is not just about vitamin D. It is a biological signal with complex roles in skin health. Yep. Sun, steak, and steel, my friend. Sun, steak, and steel. Okay? Okay. Here's another study. Okay, this is found in, I read it in the Scientific Daily, but it comes out of here. Where did it come out? I got it right in front of me. In Nature's Metabolism, a new report. Okay, guess what it's talking about? High fructose corn syrup, guys. High fructose corn syrup. What have I said? It's worse than we thought. It's worse than we saw. Okay, so here's a new study. And what they're saying about high fructose corn syrup, it's not just another sugar. You know, I was involved, Tony Jr. and I, we were involved in formulating an electrolyte drink. Okay, now we're going back now. How many years? $20 years ago? Yeah. Maybe 21 years ago, we were asked to formulate an electrolyte drink, you know, like Gatorade and whatever. It was actually called Exhilarate. Now, we didn't own it. We just were asked to formulate this drink. And, we did a good job on it. But listen, the people that own the drink, they called it, okay, not just another pile of sugar. Because the other, like Gatorade and Powerade and all that, they use, they use high fructose corn syrup, okay? And back in 2000 and I think it was 5, we were asked, 2005, maybe, 2005, I believe. We were asked to formulate that drink. And we didn't use high fructose corn syrup. And we didn't use any artificial sugars either. Because, you look at Powerade and if they say it's sugar-free, it's because they're using, artificial sweeteners. Those ain't any good for you either. But the worst is, and guys, you know this because we talk about this all the time, is high fructose corn syrup. What did we call it on the Doctor Is In podcast? The Antichrist of sugars. Okay. Now, new study. Okay. New study. A new study in the Nature, published in the Nature Metabolism. It's saying this is the headlines. Scientists warn fructose, high fructose corn syrup, driving disease. And guys, it's in everything. It's couched. It's hidden. It's the sugar of choice. Cheap, very inexpensive, made in the lab. It's not in nature, it's made in the lab. High fructose, oh boy, must be good, fructose. No, not at all. Corn, oh, must be good, comes from corn syrup, okay? Anytime you liquefy a sugar, a fructose, and this is why I tell you guys all the time, quit drinking orange juice. God didn't want you to drink orange juice. He wants you to eat an orange. You want an apple? Eat an apple. Don't drink apple juice. It's fructose, and fructose is all right when you eat it, but not drink it. And when it's liquefied in that high fructose corn syrup, okay? And guys, it's not just me saying this. It's study after study, and this newest one is saying it's driving disease. It's a difference maker in disease. Look at our society. Full of metabolic syndrome. It's the worst thing is metabolic syndrome, guys. Why? Because metabolic syndrome is at the root of heart disease. Metabolic syndrome is at the root of cancer. Most of them. Metabolic syndrome is at the root even of autoimmune disease, has a big effect. That with leaky gut. And then metabolic syndrome with diabetes. It's a pre-diabetic thing and it leads to diabetes. And remember, diabetes is the last thing to happen. What starts first? Insulin resistance. This study is showing that. And the major culprit is high fructose corn syrup. It's in everything. From ketchup to pretzels. From cereal to bagels. They add it. Go to the grocery store. Look at your label. And in a lot of things. Sugar. But they don't tell you what it is, but it's high fructose corn syrup. It's different molecularly than glucose. That's why the article goes on to say about the study, it's not just another pile of sugar. No, that was our expression. That was I didn't make that up, but the company that we did the formulation for made it up. Not just another pile of sugar. But it's not just another calorie. It acts differently in the body. And guys, we teach this. So I always reteach it because we always have new audience, always have new people on every day. This will get to by noontime today. I know it's live, but we'll be in front of 10,000 people will have watched this show. That's our average a day and more. Okay? So that I need to repeat. I learn by repetition. I don't know about you, but me, I'm repeat. I was telling someone yesterday, I said, I put myself through school writing. What? Well, I rewrote everything. Okay? So if I had notes, I rewrote them. When I heard something, I wrote it down. And then I would rewrite it. I don't know what it is between my brain and this pen. And by the way, don't touch my pen. I'm very fussy. I love my pen and don't touch it. In the office, I told my girls, don't you touch my pen. Get your own pen. Anyway, okay? So I rewrite. And then I'd make bullet points. And that's how I remembered stuff. Okay? I got a notebook. This is what I usually write on, is yellow. My wife laughs at me. Yellow lined paper. I make notes. And then I have a notepad. Not a notepad, but I got a little diary here. Okay? I write things down. That's how I remember, guys. But one of the ways you remember is repetition. So here it is with the repetition about the high fructose corn syrup, the antichrist of sugars. It takes a different pathway than glucose. This study is saying that. It's different. And it says it bypasses, I'm going to quote the study, it bypasses regulatory steps in normal energy pathways. Okay, that's a big sentence, but here's what it means. It's weird. High fructose corn syrup doesn't go through the process like sugar goes through the process of your body breaking it down. It's different. And it doesn't, and your body's protective pathways, when you're consuming glucose, don't apply to the high fructose corn syrup. And I've taught you guys this in the past because I say it takes a beeline to your liver. And then it messes you up metabolically. i.e., example. What example do I use of fructose? A bear. Okay? The bears are coming out in Northern Ontario now. They're telling us, beware. And then they put up signs like we're stupid. Don't feed the bears. Now, I know what they mean. Don't put your garbage out so they can get at them. Like, here, little bear, come and, here's some food for you. I hope we ain't that stupid. Anyway, they put warnings out. The bears are out. In Northern Ontario, my sister used to say that. They're buying condos. There's so many of them. Okay? Anywho. Okay? So fructose, high fructose corn syrup takes a different route, guys. Bears eat up to 30,000 blueberries a day. How do you like that? Getting ready for what? Hibernation. Why? They want to get fat. And that's what high fructose corn syrup does. It takes a beeline to your liver. It doesn't go through the metabolic checkpoints. that your body has to regulate your blood sugar. So when you have high fructose corn syrup, your body sends it off to the liver in a nanosecond. What does that do? It drives fatty liver. The bear story. Hibernation. They fatten up. Your liver gets fat. We didn't even have, guys, honest. This is honest. There was no such thing as fatty liver when I graduated in 1974. I never studied fatty liver. I studied cirrhosis of the liver, but not fatty liver. I never heard of it. Did someone have fatty liver? Probably, but we never heard of it. You couldn't read about it. It was cirrhosis of the liver. Fibrosis of the liver. But we didn't study fatty liver because it didn't, well, in our minds, it didn't exist. In medicine, it didn't exist. And today, it's a scourge in our society. Why? Why? Remember, what is our, what do you and I have in common? We're why people. Why do we see so much obesity today? Why? It's not calories. It's not calories in and calories out. Doctors are still focusing on that. Eat less, move more. Why do we see so much obesity today? Because the Costco parking lot, your liver gets full. And then your body says, well, I got to make more parking spots. I'm going to make visceral fat. I'm going to make more fat. I need parking spots, especially for the high fructose corn syrup. And we got, in the United States, 50% of the population, and it's the same in Canada. It's 50% of the population are diabetic or pre, and I don't know, in terms of obesity, it's like 40-something% of the population, and then 60-70% of the population are overweight. Why? And then, guys, it drives heart disease. It drives it. Why? Remember, why? Why? Well, when the liver gets full of fat, not only do you make more fat cells, right? Insulin makes more fat cells. It needs more parking spots. But it also drives up your triglycerides. Very dangerous for your heart. I should bring you another study because it's in my notes here. Okay? On the triglyceride, TG, okay, when you get your blood work, go to your blood work, the lipids, don't get confused. Look at your lipids and circle your triglycerides. Circle them. Oh, that's important, isn't it? They want them to be low, because that'll tell you a lot about what's going on in your body. Triglycerides are high. They're fat balls. And those fat balls are moving through your blood vessels. Are they good for you? No. Well, not when they're high. That's why you need cholesterol, especially HDL, to be high. Not your triglycerides, your cholesterol. We got it upside down in our society. But high fructose corn syrup drives triglycerides to the roof. Terrible for the heart. Why do you think we have so much heart disease? It's not just sugar. It's not just another pile of sugar. It is high fructose corn syrup. And, the study. See, I went on a rabbit trail and I almost didn't come back. There's a new, it's fascinating. Okay, fascinating. It's called the triglyceride glucose ratio for chronic kidney disease. I almost fell over when I read it the other day. The glucose triglyceride ratio. And here's the bottom line. When your triglycerides are up and your glucose levels are up, not diabetes, but higher than normal, how do you measure that? What's the best way to measure it? Your A1C. When that's up, your kidneys don't work. Big effect on chronic kidney disease. You following me, guys? You following me on the dangers of high fructose corn syrup? And they're finally studying it. And it says here, it bypasses the regulatory steps in normal energy pathways. It increases fat production. Hello? It reduces energy, ATP. Remember, you run on batteries. Okay? Most people, cars don't run on batteries. They run on gasoline, right? You got a battery in your car, but you're not driving. You know, the battery's there to start it and you know what I mean? Other thing, but not to, you got a combustion engine, 99% of us. But your body runs on batteries. It's called your mitochondria. They're battery packs. And high fructose corn syrup messes up your mitochondria. And at the end, what comes out of mitochondria is a fuel called ATP. It messes it up, so it decreases your energy. And then it generates compounds associated with metabolic dysfunction. That's what we're talking about. Obesity, insulin resistance, cardiovascular disease, fatty liver, and I'll add a few more. Cancer, autoimmune. It's amazing. Amazing what happens to people when they cut out high fructose corn syrup out of their diet. It's amazing what happens. And how many of these, I watch young people, okay? I say, I'm going to give them, they're getting their coffee. Okay? I want to give them high five. Oh, you're drinking coffee. Good for you. Are you listening to the doctor is in? No. You know what they're doing? They're getting these lattes and all these things, and they add sugar to them. You're drinking fructose. I want to scream when I go into the coffee shops. They'd arrest me. They'll go, who's that old goat? Anyway, what a study. What a study. And anyway. Yeah, I could go on and on about this, but I better stop. Okay. Guys, Friday is Q&A. Okay? And why am I mentioning this so early? Get your questions in. to info@martinclinic.com, okay? Get your questions in. And have you got your book, The Rebuild Your Temple? In Canada, do you have the book Sun, Steak, and Steel? Okay. The Rebuild Your Temple will be on Amazon soon. In the United States, I'm not sure about Canada. Okay, now, okay? We love you guys. Give us feedback. Okay? If you get on and go on your smart device and listen to our podcast, give us a rating. Show us love. It helps with the algorithms. Share this, guys. It helps with the algorithm. The more you share it, the more Facebook shares it. That's the way they operate. Okay? That's why Facebook cuts me some slack. Okay? Even though I'm controversial. Because we have such traffic. They like that. Okay. We love you. Talk to you soon.